But we also believe that the devil can hijack all of these beautiful theories and use them for herself. In America and the American Liberians, we are a revolution that is casting blame. The Bible has told us that if we want to solve problems, we must be bold enough to cast blames. And in this case, we know that everybody to some extent bears some responsibility for what's happening. That's why our part of responsibility that we bear, we're coming out to act against it. The American Liberians and the Americans are the prime culprits of the danger that is going on in this country. A group of God's children cannot continuously be treated like animals. The entire theory of Liberia is fake. The name Liberia does not belong to us. We don't feel proud to be called Liberians. We feel proud of this for the 3,000 square miles that God has blessed us with. So we came out today after 7 years of researching everything about Liberia and this bloody relationship with America. We came out to dramatize the effects of our findings. We came to dramatize the truth behind our findings. We now want to physically tell the world that we are tired with lies. God has said He hates lies according to Proverbs 6:16-19. Among the sins that God hates the worst, He said listed lies 3 times according to King Solomon. And we want to say that we are tired of living on lies.
Mr. Kati,
this will only come if truth comes first.
Mr. Kati,
yes.
If someone, for example, an old lady all the way in Grand Judah, listening to you, when you say fake, how do you think she will going to understand it?
When we say fake, we mean lie, falsehood. They're not true. The new on the country said they're not true. The new on the country say only the people that came from North America, they own the country. And with that lie, when they came here, they met 16 groups of indigenous Africans. They continue to refer to our people as pigs and goats. They say we are savages, we are non-humans, we are subhumans, and they continue to treat us like that. Can you imagine, gentlemen? It took the British government to demand the American Liberians to change their policy towards the indigenous before they even granted citizenship to us in our own country. It took 50 plus years after the independence, 1904, only because they needed some $500,000 loan from Erlanger and Company. And the British government has said you got to change your policy towards the people. That's how come they granted so-called citizenship to us of indigenous background. We are a majority of the population of the country. We constitute, our group constitutes more than 95 to 98% of the citizens of the country. We are not proud to be called Liberians. We prefer being called either Green Coasters, or you can call us people from Dubai to Dubai and all of those names. We want a capital city that will be called Wenigabli. We want cities that will be called Williamstown, ball play, and the list goes on. But we don't want anything called Monrovia because James Monroe didn't like the blacks. James Monroe didn't like the whole ACS thing was to enslave blacks, to continuously enslave blacks. And the worst thing is, it was not just about enslaving blacks. The ACS decided to only rid America of criminal blacks that were poisoning the minds of other blacks that they wanted to serve them. So the whole scheme is very dangerous, and we can't continue to live with this kind of danger. And we got to speak out. We want a name change. We want a change of constitution. We want change of everything about this country, and the process has started.
How well are you working with the legislature to ensure that some of the things come to play?
We respect people that are in the house, but we also believe that they are just colonial contractors. So the message is going to them. We have written them. And a good thing, one thing that also impresses us is the same way we are thinking. There are a group of fellow citizens across the Atlantic Ocean who concomitantly are acting and thinking like us, writing like us. It's so miraculous. We come also today to demonstrate that it is not us alone that are thinking this way. So this concomitance must be demonstrated. So we brought papers from a group that is in Boston, Massachusetts. You know that Massachusetts is a very revolutionary city. And anything from Boston or Massachusetts is very revolutionary. And a group from there is also thinking the same way as we are thinking. So we also come to let our fellow compatriots that know that it is not just us alone. God is trying to work out some miracles. And people of like minds will come together to make this change happen. So we are proud today to come and talk about our planetary revolution, but also to talk about the kind of synergies that we're trying to to build with these groups of people that are across the ocean. We all are singing the same song, and we want this to be done through a sovereign citizens convention. A sovereign citizens convention. There are two ways that change can come to a country. Some people can blend those two formulas, some people can use one. Either through the power of the guns or through an intensive, well-designed citizens get-together that brings on board people from all walks of life in the country. People from civil society, people from ethnic groups, people from the churches, people from the mosques, and the list goes on. That's the style of convention we want now in this country, and God has helped us. We can put up the leadership because the government of Liberia, again, without prejudice to some good people within this institution, is a colonial contracting body that only works along with colonial master to continuously enslave the people of this country. And so, while it is true we respect individuals from the government, we don't believe in the government acting as an institution because it is a wholly colonial body intended to continue this colonialism.
Were you to advise people you allege to be collaborators of these very colonial people you're talking about? You're talking about Liberians in our midst. Some are in government, some are outside government, some are outside the country. Is there any word of caution for them this time around?
A word of caution I have for fellow citizens, fellow Imo family members, is God has given us so much responsibility to be able to investigate things that we hear. I'm now a Muslim, but I believe in the Quran. It's a book for a certain segment of God's lovely children as well. I read parts of the Quran, and one part of the Quran that I read and really love is Surah 17:36. I may not quote it well, but Surah 17:36 says, God gave us the sight, He gave us the brain, He gave us the ears to listen, to hear, to smell, and investigate whatever we see around us, so that we are not told something and it's just that. We must be able to investigate whatever we hear, because at the end of the day, it will go against us. He will hold those things against us. So we are cautioning fellow citizens and fellow human family members to now take some time. Let us soberly reflect. Let us reassess all of what we've heard about this beautiful West African territory, this 43,000 square miles of land. Let us reassess and reevaluate every theory we have heard about this place, including even the name. Imagine the fourth paragraph of the Declaration of Independence of this place says, we the people of Liberia, originally from the United States of North America, we say no. The people came here and met Bassas, they came and met Days, they came and met Gills, they came and met a whole list of people here. And up to today, that particular paragraph of the Declaration of Independence still stands. The name still backs this particular paragraph. All of the symbols and emblems here back those things. The flag does not represent anything but Yakpagolo. We are tired of it. Those things are very, very, very needed. And that's why the great United States, from which we say we claim we learn all of our lessons, continuously change those symbols and emblems so that they can demonstrate, they can reflect representativeness. And that's not the case in our situation.
So lastly, any word for the younger generation?
Yes, this is a generation, the generation for millennials. This is a very powerful generation, the generation of the age of the golden age of the Silicon Valley. They are very powerful when it comes to bring about change. We are telling them that it is not a crime to want to question what your forefathers have told you from history. It is good to investigate for yourself. We want to enjoy a country, we want to enjoy everything about this country. This country can put up Lionel Messi's, this country can put up the Donald Trumps and the Barack Obamas, but it can only happen with truth being our guiding principles. All of these things cannot happen with great lies. That's why all of the achievements of this country are just individual achievements. They are just flashing a pen that doesn't last for anything for any longer. And so if we want sustained change, if we want sustained progress, we must first rectify the lies and bring about truth on board. That's why we call this movement Plain Truth Revolution. We're going to use non-violent civil disobedience. That's why it takes to make the powers that be to listen to us, that we're tired with lies. We know that God will judge us for these things, and we can't allow them to carry us to hell. We cannot allow them to carry us to hell because God is not only responsible, God is not only interested in how many girlfriends we have, God is also interested in the 43,000 square miles of land I gave you, the diamond, the gold, all of those collective wealth that I gave you. What did you do to protect it? What did you do to secure the future of generations of people to come after you? And that's what we're all out for. Lies will not allow us to survive. Lies will not allow the huge potentials of the good people of this country to ever be unleashed. We need truth first, because it is only God who can make all of these things possible. And God has said He hates lies. So we are all out. We're not here on our own. Somebody above speaks to us and tells us that it is time to act. What you are seeing here with a number that looks insignificant is something that is growing. Let the power that be. We are not interested in guns. We're interested in national dialogue. We're saying we want a sovereign citizens convention, a revolutionary kind of congress. Not what they are doing up Capitol Hill. What they are doing up Capitol Hill is continuously carrying on colonialism. Let them listen to us. Let them listen to us now and stop this too many elections business. The election does not change anything. The election is only to make a system that everybody has agreed with. People in this country don't agree. Majority of us don't agree with the new Liberia, let alone the system. And it's time now to listen to us.
And then again,
Roland Escati,
position.
Chairman of the Clean Tree Revolution. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you so
Sorry
much.
for the difficult tones sometimes, because the day hasn't been easy.